Saludos familias, habla Jesús, administrador del grupo Todo sobre Lucha Libre, y hoy en una nueva entrevista tenemos al luchador Ace Evans. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Fine, thank you. And you? Where are you from? Where
I
are
am
you
from
from?
I am from Michigan,
Okay.
United
Ace,
States.
United States. Ace, we have right now COVID-19. Does this have affected you mentally or a physical way?
Yes. Michigan is pretty much locked down right now with no wrestling. Same with Ohio. I believe Chicago is the same way. Illinois. More east and south, there's some wrestling going on. Some places are doing studio tapings, but I'm just trying to get my foot in the door in those spots so I can at least keep going.
Okay. Who or what was your inspiration to become a wrestler?
When I got into wrestling late, so it was like the early 2000s is when I started watching wrestling, and Triple H was my guy. He was the one that made me want to do this.
Who trains you?
Who trained me? I trained with Xavier Justice.
Okay. How many years have you been a wrestler?
I've been doing this going on 13 years now.
Okay, 13 años, mi gente, 13 years. Okay, Ace Evans. Where did you get that name? And why the name Ace Evans?
So my dad was a country singer, and he was traveling everywhere. He has 3 gold records that he won from overseas, and he went under the last name Evans. So to honor my father, I went with Evans. And then the Ace name, ever since I can remember with video games, I always pick the name Ace. So I
Okay.
just put them together.
Okay, your first match, if you can remember it. How do you feel entering the ring? With whom do you have to fight? And do you win or lose that match?
Oh man, my first match, I was literally shaking. I was way overweight, wearing gear that didn't fit me, and I lost. I it was a 6-man tag match. I can't remember all the guys that were in it, but just getting in there shaking, nervous, not trying to mess up, and messing up, of course, and it was scary.
Oh, él se ríe, pero él dice que tuvo miedo en su primera lucha. O sea, he was very afraid of his first match. Are you a heel or a face?
Mostly I'm a heel, but this past summer I've been switched to face. So I've been doing a lot more face stuff lately. So
I was watching a couple of your photos and your face is painted. And do you use that paint right now on your wrestling career?
my tag partner and I at the time, we were doing the face paint a lot. But then like a lot of other guys started doing it in Michigan too. So we kind of put it off to the side until the fad died down so we could bring it back out. Or for certain matches we'll put it on.
Okay. Right now, I'm not sure, but I'm looking at you a kind of a biker dress or something. I mean, is that your gimmick or you love to ride bikes?
I do have a bike. I do ride a Harley. The idea of the Nomads was a group of bikers, but as uh, members left and new members came in, like the new members aren't really biker looking. Some are, some aren't. So now it's more of like a band of misfits put together for a certain purpose.
Okay. Le estaba diciendo a él, ¿verdad? Que la indumentaria parecía, pues, de estos que conducen motocicletas. And the beard is also a fact of the. It's kind of like a gang biker, something like that, like we saw sometimes on movies, we saw them on bars, the beer, all these black, you know.
Mm,
That's why I was looking at you and say, maybe this is this kind of a biker gimmick or something. I don't know. Do- Have you seen Lucha on the Ground? You saw
yeah.
those two guys, bikers.
Yes.
Ok. Le estoy hablando de las dos personas, los que vieron Lucha Underground, habían dos personajes que también pues eran como motociclistas y ellos pues estaban peleando entre ellos por ser los líderes de la ganga. Have you ever, on your youth, do you belong to a gang or not? Never in your life.
No. No,
Okay,
growing up, I lived out in the country, didn't get in much trouble. My
okay,
my dad was a scary man, so I didn't try to make him upset or nothing. So I tried to be as good as I could.
okay. Right now, which wrestler that you have already fight can you say, this was the toughest I can ever fight in my whole life? Do you have a name or not?
Yes. So there's a guy here that wrestles as Dread King Logan, and he looks like what you'd expect. He looks like Conan the Barbarian. Um, wears the cape, the crown, but he's tough. He's a little bit shorter than me, but he's stockier than I am, and every time I've wrestled him, he's tough. Um, another guy I stepped in the ring with was Rhino. He's pretty tough.
Mhm.
And as far as like a lot of spots and stuff, I would have to say Tommy Vendetta. He's
Okay,
another guy that's kind of blowing up right now in Michigan.
okay. Are you independent or do you belong to any wrestling company right now?
I am independent.
Okay, okay. Okay, you live in the United States. If you have the opportunity between WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, which one would you choose?
AEW.
Why?
Just watching the guys that are on there, it's like all the guys that were on WWE went to AEW, and those are the guys that I actually liked, like FTR. I really liked watching those guys. Moxley, Jericho, so it's like a lot of my guys that I liked are there, and those are the guys that I want to work with.
Okay, because right now Impact and AEW is going to be united. Can you imagine yourself in a group like Aces and Eights?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Do you also remember that famous group of bikers that were in the WWE?
Which ones? There's quite a few of them. There was
I remember that it was Crush was in there, Savio Vega. I don't remember the name of but they usually come on bikers. They were like bikers guys,
mhm.
and they always fight against nation of domination and all that kind of things. Maybe you can also belong on that kind of faction or something like that.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. When you told your parents that you wanted to become a wrestler, what do they say? He's laughing, se está riendo porque estoy preguntando cuando él le dijo a sus padres que él quería ser luchador, que le dijo a sus padres. Okay, what do they he's laughing, okay. What
So
is going on?
my dad was so mad when he found out. He was angry. He begged me not to do it. He's like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to, potentially die. He didn't know what was going into it. And I was like, well, I'm starting these classes. I'm learning how to not kill myself, and I'm learning not how to drop people and not kill them. So I think it's gonna be fine. And he's like, I just don't think you should do it. I was like, Dad, you bought me a motorcycle when I was 16 and you let me drive that. Why can't I go do this? And he's like, well, you got a point there. He's like, well, just don't hurt yourself. And it wasn't until I was probably about a year or two in when he started actually coming to my matches and he was seeing it for the first time, me doing the stuff and what I was going through. He's like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And your mother?
Uh, my stepmother, she was in the same boat as my dad. He was not too happy about it, and she was like, I don't think so either.
Okay, you already said that your father was a country singer. Have you ever tried to become a country singer instead of being a wrestler?
I think the music talent skipped me. I tried. I tried.
Yeah, have you tried?
Yeah, I
I
tried. I tried.
guitar,
Yeah, I
I
tried
tried.
playing guitar. I couldn't do that very well. I tried to sing. I can't sing to save my life. So I was just like, well, I'll try something else.
Fíjate, me estoy riendo porque él dice que su papá era un cantante country y yo le estoy diciendo a él que si en vez de ser un luchador, que si no le hubiera gustado ser un cantante, dice que no, que él no sabe tocar la guitarra, no puede cantar, lo ha intentado, pero no le ha salido, no le ha salido esa vena de la música como fue el papá. Your father is alive right now?
No, he passed away.
Ok, el papá de murió hace un tiempito, ok. Okay, right now, what can we see on the future, more or less? Who do you want to face? What kind of championship do you like on your life? What can you tell us about?
Well, I'm looking. I have a tag team title right now. I'm the Southwest um, Texas tag team champion with my tag partner Chuck Whedon. So tag team is pretty much my specialty, but I would like to get a singles title in 21. As far as who I would like to wrestle, I would really like to wrestle Jericho. If we're talking big name, I really would like to wrestle Daniel Bryan. Like guys that are like not my style, but can push me a little bit more. Um, I really want to. I haven't wrestled him since we started wrestling, but Rohit Raju from Impact, I really want to wrestle him again too.
Okay, buenos candidatos que él quiere luchar con Daniel Bryan, quiere luchar con Jericho, o sea, estamos hablando de categoría. I mean, we're talking about very famous and talented people. I mean, you think you can, fight them and maybe win?
I think so.
Él piensa que les puede ganar, señoras y señores. Eso para que ustedes vean. Okay, I really hope that you have a very bright future. I really hope you can have a lot of championship. I'm looking at you, and to be pretty honest, I love the way you're dressed right now. I love that. Maybe I could see you, I don't know, in the future on Impact or AEW or WWE, maybe starting on Next. You never know because there are a lot of people that started from above and they climb until they get famous. Can you imagine wrestling a guy like Otis, maybe?
He's a big boy, but I would do it.
Se enfrentaría a Otis, señoras y señores. You really are a great guy. And I was thinking, have you maybe think about the possible being a heel on the future?
Being a heel, yeah.
Él está pensando en ser un jugador en el futuro, señoras y señores. Así que, bueno, how do you feel so far with the interview?
I'm having fun. It's fun meeting you. That's the questions is really making me think. So trying to remember 13 years ago, after all the banging my head on things and stuff, trying to, think. But I'm having a lot of fun.
Have you been on this kind of stream matches or not?
What's that?
The stream matches. Have you been on the stream matches?
Mm-mm.
Like chairs, ladders,
Oh,
tables.
matches. Yeah. So I was just in one. It was called the Purge Rules match, and it was against a team called the Purge. If you ever watch those movies, it was pretty much anything goes. I could send you that after the interview, and it's ladders. There was meat hooks. One of the guys comes out with meat hooks and hangs them on the ropes. There was baseball bats. There's chairs, ladders. I've done a couple ladder matches before. When I first started, the hardcore thing, not death match, but hardcore was a little big when I first started. So my tag partner and I at the time were trying to get into it because there's supposedly money in it, but we weren't making much more money than we were actually wrestling. So I was like, well, I don't want to get my face stapled anymore. So let's not do this for 20 bucks or 30 bucks, you know what I mean? So now deathmatch wrestling is really big in Michigan, where there's like 3 or 4 different promotions right now doing them, and there's a lot of money involved, and I really applaud those guys doing it, but it's just not that kind of, light tubes and stuff isn't for me. But I don't mind doing a old-fashioned hardcore match.
Okay. How can people find you on the social media?
You can find me on Facebook under the Big Bad Wolf Ace Evans, also the Nomads page, and I also run Face Kicked Apparel here in Michigan. So we make T-shirts and everything, so you can find me there too.
Ok, mi gente, Ace Evan, traten de localizarlo en las redes sociales, escríbanle, pídanle venir a su país, que venga a luchar y denle la oportunidad. Some last words that you want to say to the people who is watching you right now.
I just want to say thank you for, nobody's heard of my name before, so thank you for listening to me talk for the last half hour or so. I really appreciate everybody listening in, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and wanting me to be on your show. I enjoy doing this.
Ok, pues mi gente, será entonces hasta la próxima entrevista. Thank you very much, Mr. Ace. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.